Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike. We're here. We are the best business radio program around. Mike King. We're here with Dr. Casey. Dr. Casey, welcome to the program.
Always good seeing you, Mike.
It is good. Okay, so we are here with the Chesterfield Chamber, but this was a combined event. So we had the Chesterfield Chamber. We also had Chamber RVA, and you were here presenting the state of Chesterfield. Sir, you touched on some outstanding topics. Let's start with the highlights of how people view Chesterfield.
Well, again, we did a survey this last year and asking people during a pandemic what they think that is a risk,
It's risky.
but it was a risk worth taking because we got a lot of good information from them. Fortunately, we saw a lot of things on positive trends that people really are seeming to enjoy living here, working, closer to where they live, and the quality of life attributes that are important to them. They like what we are doing. Doesn't mean we're done. Doesn't mean we can't be better. But again, when somebody is giving you good information back during a pandemic, is good information we will take.
So it's Mike King. Dr. Casey is here with us. One of the things you talked about, so it not only was it positive feedback from the individuals, residents of the county, it was also feedback from business owners and business people. The state of Chesterfield business is good.
And it is. And again, I'm not the one selling the goods or services. They are. That we just reap the benefits of a customer well served. Part of that quality of life. We do reap the benefits of a local economy and the taxes of how then we can reinvest it back in to keep this secret sauce going further down the road. And so I applaud any and all the businesses. And you saw in this room here today, there were a diverse array of businesses, large, small, every spectrum of an industry is here in Chesterfield County. Therefore, whatever your passion and desires are to work, there's a job for you somewhere amongst them all. And if there's a good or service for you to buy, it's in Chesterfield County also.
So you said even as robust as the measurements, where you said that's really not a true depth of the business, because the business model, it's not like the old days where it had to be a brick and mortar. People are doing a lot of business in Chesterfield because, as you said, over the years, Chesterfield is open for business and it's business friendly, but it also, and you talk about the number of square miles, it's known worldwide that Chesterfield has a great reputation worldwide.
Yeah, and we're trying to make that, we're trying to earn that quality seal of approval, and then we're trying to keep it because, again, it's a competitive market for business. It's a competitive market amongst governments. People choose with their feet where they want to live and work. They're choosing more so now with the flexibility of teleworking. So having and knowing that we have become a destination for teleworkers is the ultimate compliment because they have chosen to come here to work out of their home or some other small office they may set up, but they want to live here 24/7.
On the mic with Mike King here, Dr. Casey. Back when we talked to you before, you said how fast Chesterfield pivoted when times were tough. Now you're reaping the benefits of that. You've opened it up so people have more ways. It's very easy to get in touch with the powers that be, the infrastructure of Chesterfield. The police have their own channels. You guys are utilizing media. Talk to our listeners and explain to them a little bit about what you have going on now.
Sure. Well, I learned from you, quite frankly. This mic on the mic, when I saw the ways and the roles and shows you've had, and I've listened to them and enjoyed them. Those are the things that you use to survive during a pandemic, and it's also the things you use to thrive. So, we borrow and get from the best of them. So I thank you for creating such mediums like this and our podcast that we're doing are great interviews. We've set up a similar informal video session of it as well for those that want to see people sweat on the hot chair there and or tell a story. But you yourself set the tone, and we're just following your wake, sir.
So let's talk a little about some of the highlights that you touched on with the state of Chesterfield. Some of the high notes that you hit. Let's give our listeners an idea of what's happening, what you delivered to the chamber audience.
Sure. Well, first and foremost, it was a message of thanks. Thanks for all the people in the room, not just being a business owner, business leader, employee, but also being a citizen and steward of Chesterfield, helping each other out. And so we have thanked them repeatedly during the pandemic, and we're going to continue to thank them post-pandemic because they have become the lifeblood and the core foundations of this quality of life we have. Together, what we have done as a government, we try to position our services to be more accessible, 24/7, curbside for when it needs to be, if that's how people want to operate. People are defining how they want to be served, and our definitions can become infinite in how we can serve them if that helps them get their job done or get their questions answered. Last but not least, it is again, the fundamentals are the fundamentals, and that's our school system, our public safety, and the infrastructure that we've tried to be responsible in building and sustaining. And again, never lose sight that that's what people first and foremost want and think of as a good foundation of government. And so before we build too many other pieces and parts on it, we will always ensure that the foundation is strong.
Years ago, would you have thought that the business of government would be able to be this nimble?
No, I can give a long answer or a short answer. The answer is no, because we're somewhat blind to just, the ways people act and diverse and the needs that they had. We now realize that our traditional manners, it's like driving my father's old Oldsmobile, as they say. At some point in time, you need to know there's other ways to drive, and there's other ways to get around actually now that don't involve a car. If that's what people want, we need to learn how to give it to them.
One of the things on the mic with Mike King, Dr. Casey here, you celebrated a lady who had been with you for a number of years. Oh, how do you get the workers? How do you set that type of corporate culture that you keep great workers? Because everyone needs workers these days.
Well, first, when they are a new employee, the first person they see on their first day on new employee orientation, when we gather them together, is me. I view myself as a symbol and a leader of the organization. And I'm not doing them a canned message or a canned welcome letter. I want them to see and know that I'm accessible, that I was in that chair also once as a new employee. I know what it takes to come here, and I know what it takes to stay here. And I want to share with them my personal stories and my vested interest in them of having that same experience in their career. I also tell them that they're actually smarter than me. They know how to do things I will never be trained for or
Really?
certified for. So the skills that these people have for the jobs they have, they've earned that right to sit in that chair. And what I want to do is keep that chair for them for their career.
As we get, I know you're a busy man. As we get you out of here, let me ask you, from a longevity standpoint, you've taken on public service. How do we get the next group of public servants? Where do they come from?
Well, again, the old tradition was you start out in the bottom of the food chain in a government job and you work your way up, almost in a paramilitary type style. Nowadays, you need to find the technicians that are from anywhere to do a technical job, and you need to find the leaders from anywhere to do a leadership job. Now, it takes a lot to understand the needs and wants of 365,000 people. It takes a lot to understand that everyone's voice needs to be heard. We don't pick and choose our customers, they pick us. And so I have to do my best in my profession to instill a sense of gratitude and thanks, but also be mindful that there are voices that sometimes don't speak up that we also need to listen to. And you have to keep your eyes open and ears open during a pandemic. That is harder to do, but we have found the tools to try and best do that.
All right, one last question. What gives you hope, Dr. Casey?
My hope is I see you more often.
Well,
That means we're doing something good or interesting
well,
for you to
well,
share out to your crowd.
Well, that's good. So on the mic, Mike, Dr. Casey is here. We'd like to thank you. He had just delivered a positive. Well, it positive because a lot of great things happening in Chesterfield. Like I said, when I see you, great things happen in Chesterfield. On the mic with Mike, we'd like to thank you, Dr. Casey.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
sir.
Thanks. Now
As
take
always.
care. Also, your team, first class. Your folks, they keep me. They're buttoned up, so they keep me. So they make sure you're on time with me. Okay, Mike, here you go. They got the talking points, so I'm not, just straying.
I hear you. If you wore a tie, they'd even fix your tie before
But you
put it
even
down.
gave me the pin. I got.
You have a county pin and all the powers that are bestowed in that.
Wow, that's
Use them
dangerous.
wisely.
Use them wisely. You don't get to give them out to anybody.
You're more or less going to get bizarre questions thrown your way with the pen, and then they're going to ask you things
That I don't know the answer to. And I have to say,
fix the pothole, and that's VDOT is the answer. Just remember that.
so, I talked to Mayor Stoney and he said, people just stop me all the time. They said, hey, you can right here, so you're a man of the people. So Dr. Casey, Mike King, we got to go. Thanks now. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks now.
Bye.
Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on the mic with Mike, the best business radio program around. I got Brian Anderson, Chamber RVA. Brian, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mike. Glad to be here with you.
So you are here today. This was the Chamber. This was the collaboration between Chamber RVA, Chesterfield Chamber. It was the state of Chesterfield. We just talked to Dr. Casey. Let's talk about what you get from what he delivered today.
Well, I tell you, and I said in my opening comments that we are fortunate in this region to have a lot of great leaders. Dr. Casey certainly is one of those. I also give credit to the board of supervisors here in Chesterfield. They are committed and passionate leaders about this county. They don't create or buy into drama. They simply try to look at the facts and represent us well. Flip that over to our educational leader, Dr. Doherty, and the school board. You get the same things. When you look at data that says you're you're creating jobs, you're minimizing congestion, you're educating kids, you got first responders to take care of people. I mean, it was a very uplifting message, and I'm just proud to be a part of this region. You get a chance to work with Dr. Casey and others in making this a great place to live.
On the mic with Mike Brian Anderson, is your Chamber RVA. You always talk about collaboration. This was an exact example of what you're talking about today. You, Danielle Fitz, you putting this together, bringing the powers together, and you always talk about collaboration.
Yeah, similar missions, but different ways to go about it. And what I'd say is we cover the regions. We work on working with state legislatures, the federal policymakers, and even local, but not into again exactly what Danielle represents. So we want to be a partner that as she's working on small business development and helping the businesses that reside in Chesterfield, we're working on making sure this is a great place for people to live and work across 9 jurisdictions. So similar work, but we have different lanes to run in. The more we can collaborate work together, we get 1 + 1 = 3.
How exactly? We've been there. How can people find the Chamber RVA and all the great things you guys are doing out there?
ChamberRVA.com. All of our information about emails, contact me, phone numbers. We serve again on 1.3 million people. We work for the betterment of all of our lives, and so that this will be the greatest place to live, work, and play, regardless of which jurisdiction. Chesterfield just happened to be the one we're talking about today. I'll be in Enrico tomorrow. Hear the same kind of message. We have a really good region, and the fact that we're working together and have so much happening, we can compete with other regions larger than us and certainly our size.
You know, it's funny because a lot of times I don't think people get the part about the collaboration. You know, it's not competitive.
I
And
came
you,
from a place, Mike, that the Friday night football scores determine whether you spoke to somebody on Monday. You
right.
can't run a place. You can't provide the best teachers. You can't provide the best pay for first responders. You can't provide the best road system if you choose to fight over dumb stuff. So we are fortunate that our leaders here are serious people. They have their lives with them. They have their own business jobs and all. They're not full-time elected officials, but they work for the betterment of all of us. And you've got others of us that try to support that network by being the connective tissue.
There you go. On the mic with Mike Brian Anderson, Chamber RVA. Like to thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Same
Like
here,
you
my
said,
friend.
we moved up. You
Anytime.
know,
Well,
you know,
I'm not let go. It's a good day for me.
I understand. All right, man. Take
Good to
care.
see you,
Thanks for
Blake.
coming on. On the mic with Mike. We got Danielle Fitzhugh is going to come up with us in just a moment. We're here with you every day, ESPN Richmond, 5 to 7 a.m. 5 to 7 a.m. We are with so I see Diaz Moore. Oh, really quickly. Angelica, could you come on real quick? 1 second here. See, just that's right. All right, so here, coming to the microphone now. We have Angelica. She is with Brown House Candles, one of the Chamber's finest. Danielle, welcome to the program. What am I calling you, Danielle? I'm looking at Danielle Fitzhugh, and I'm okay. It's Angelica with Brown House Candles. Let people know how they could find you out there and what Brown House Candles is.
Absolutely, Mike. So Brown House Candles is Richmond's first and only custom for your own candle shop and experience. So with us, you are curating your own custom candle. You're picking your scents, over 100 to choose from. We're helping you make that custom candle or bath and body product with us. Nothing you can't do. You can find us at 6131 Harborside Center Loop. We're right in Midlothian, down from the Deserter and Glory Days.
And the first step when I come to your location, what do I get to do?
Like, you hit our wall of fame.
I get
Our
that.
scent wall. You smell the wall.
I get to smell the wall. And when you say smell the wall, what that means is I can pick out exactly what I want and make it happen. And then,
Absolutely.
okay, so you do that. You guys are also a facility that people can use. Touch on that.
Absolutely. We are a facility that you can use. So we host private parties. We are great for date nights. We are great for hosting a bridal shower or a baby shower. You book with us. You get our studio for 2.5 hours. We close our studio doors and we allow you the experience of fellowship with friends and family, as well as curating your custom bath and body product or candle.
But you guys, it's not like I could just roll up in there. You guys are busy.
Oh,
I know because my man tried to he tried to get in this weekend. And you're like, nah, no.
Telling you, business has been great. It is booming. We are all about town and people are getting the word out there. But definitely walk-ins are always accepted. If you feel that you're going to have a larger group, I'd say more than 2 or 3, give us a call ahead of time, especially if you want to come over the weekend. We do take reservations.
So you guys also look to partner with people. Let's talk a little bit about that.
We offer an artisan collaboration. So we feel that we have been blessed and fortunate to get out here in the community and have partners that support us We want to give that back. So if you think that you are the best cookie creator in town, collaborate with us. Let's do some candles and cookie making for sure. We get the first hour and a half of the night to show your group all about our candle experience. Second hour and a half of the night is for you to show off your cookie making skills.
There you go. On the mic with Mike Brown has candles. This is Angelica. She is the sales manager.
I am so sorry.
I got you. I got it right. Okay, there you go. So, folks, make sure you get down to Brown House Candles. It is an experience unlike anything else. Partners are on the mic with Mike. They're doing a lot of great things in the community. We'd like to thank Angelica for coming in. Angelica, thanks now.
Thank you.
All righty, take care. On the mic with Mike, we are back. We are here at the Chesterfield Chamber Luncheon, which served today as Dr. Casey delivered the state of Chesterfield. Danielle Fitzpatrick is here with us. Dr. Casey, talk a little bit about what it meant for him to bring you here today and what he talked about.
Well, I think people forget how many wonderful things are happening in Chesterfield County. And so this is a good opportunity to hear it all at one time. I mean, Dr. Casey had just slightly over 60 slides of good news, right? And so think about how people share information. And so if something isn't positive, people are freely telling that.
Yes, people will tell bad news.
They will tell that.
Bad news travels.
And so this is really an opportunity for our businesses to hear. You might just know 1, 2, 3, 10 pieces of good news, but every slide, 60 slides, was a bit of good information that the business community can take back, that you can take back as a business owner, you can take back as a Chesterfield resident, you can take back as someone who is visiting the area and say, hey, maybe there's some things I should be doing in my backyard. I mean, it gives a whole new meaning to in my backyard, a staycation, I've got a half a day off, or I need weekend plans, or I need last minute plans.
Because it's Mike King, Danielle Fitzpatrick is here, Chesterfield Chamber. So we have Brian Anderson on just a minute ago. This is something you always talk about collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
And this was something done with you guys put together for them to offer the state of Chesterfield. Let's talk a little bit about collaboration right there.
Yeah, I mean, Chamber RBA as a regional chamber is representing the 4 counties in the city, and they do a fantastic job in the work that they do. But they also have a Chesterfield cabinet. And so when you're doing a state of the county, in my mind, there's only one county, right? The best county, Chesterfield.
There you go.
So we're all talking to the business community, so why not partner and bring it together? This is year 4 or 5 that we've been doing this event as a partnered event. And I think each year we get a little bit tighter, we get a little bit closer, we inch in to bring unity to the business community, because if we're helping one business, we're helping them all thrive.
On the mic with Mike, we're here with Danielle. One last time, how can people find the Chesterfield Chamber?
ChesterfieldChamber.com. We're always open. You can find us on the web. You can find us through social media.
Chesterfield Chamber. Chesterfield is open for business.
We are.
And you've become very good at putting on these meetings.
We got a little recipe.
You do have, you have the formula.
It's the secret sauce, like Dr. Casey mentioned.
It is because what happens is you allow people to figure out how much contact that they want to have, and so you put everyone in the room. The state of business is strong in Chesterfield.
Yeah, we had a wait list today. I mean, kind of like you do at a restaurant, you got to wait to get in.
Really? But you're known for having a wait list. Your board, just anybody willy-nilly isn't jumping on your board.
You didn't have a reservation today to get in, then you had to wait.
Okay.
Everybody's seated and see if we had open tables for you.
There you go. That's what happens when you're popular. On the mic with Mike, the Chesterfield Chamber, they are the sponsors of Chamber Wednesdays. They allow us through partnerships they allow us to talk to nonprofits and business people every day. So thank you to you guys for doing that. On the mic with Mike, as I always say, the microphone ain't free. Plus, my grandkids need stuff. So
More stuff. It's Christmas.
Please don't say that too loud. Don't say that too loud. So no, stop it. On the mic with Mike. Danielle, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. We get to talk to some great folks over here in Chesterfield. Thanks now. Take care.
Thank you. Let me see.